Yes, I think you can just type your question because you're breaking and some other people.
Figma, you can use the Figma file.
Can you hear me?
Use the Google form that I dropped to drop your question. You keep breaking. Can Maruf go next? Or before Maruf goes, I think let me read from this. Okay, yeah, I started recording. Sorry, I forgot to click record. For the drop shadow, are you saying not to use drop shadow at all except when showing overstayed? And also, what if the shadow is used to subtle? Because the shadow you need to use not adjust at all. So, Bukola, regarding that, I'll say for now, except you're very, very good, you're already very, very good on how to mix your shadows, right? I would say yes for now. Do not use your drop shadow. Do not use shadows until you're able to mix the proper way of using shadows. You could watch other videos on YouTube on how to mix shadows very well for different instances, right? If you know you're very, very good at mixing it and you know how to go about it, yes, you can go ahead and use shadows. But I would advise for now, you have no business with shadows. Just pretend as if shadows does not exist and try that way you will see how your aesthetic, your design style becoming aesthetically pleasing. Because if from the get-go you get to know how to do those good UIs from the beginning, it's very easy for you to start learning all the other aspects, right? So for now, whether you can adjust or do it subtle, I would say for now, don't use shadows except you're trying to show overstays and all. But if it's just your plain designs and stuff like that, for now, avoid shadows as much as possible. Except you're trying to do something that is 3D related, or you're trying to do an illustration that the shadow needs to show something in the illustration you're doing. I would say my advice is for now, abandon shadows. When you're very good at mixing your shadows and knowing when to use your shadows, then you can go ahead and use it. For now, in places where you need to show something that's subtle to make that thing subtle, use the stroke and use a very light color as a stroke, just as I explained in the video, to show those subtle instances. Strokes will give you that effect as well. Yes, you can save your designs as PNG and JPEG too as well when you want to export. I'm confused. Are you talking to us from the basic Figma, or you are helping those who are already into the application? I am just saying that once, whether you have the new account or not, you can upgrade to an education to have access to other Figma paid features. There's nothing confusing about that. And if you're unable to upgrade to an educational Figma, it is fine as well. Just use your Figma the way it is. That information was just like a plus for you guys. It's not a requirement or anything like that. It is for those that have access to the education feature, they get to know the difference between using the education feature and free feature. But having free feature does not mean you cannot use Figma. You can still use Figma. Don't stress yourself if you cannot upgrade to an educational feature. As simple as that. So that particular style guide, I'll have to check Figma community for it because that particular one I customize certain things to it. There are other design systems that you can search Untitled style guide or Untitled UI kit on Figma community. Yeah, so about Figma community, I think I did not dive into Figma community at all during the course of that call. That's because there was a lot of things to cover. So for Figma community, for those that have the app, when you come to your Figma app and you go to explore community, once you click on explore community, Figma community is still loading. Yeah, so this is Figma community. This is the way it looks on dark mode. On light mode is brighter. No, I just prefer dark mode thing. So on Figma community, for example, you see design systems, you see you see different things. You can search for different kind of things. So let's say for this particular UI kit, let me say Untitled. Yeah, see it here, Untitled UI. Let me just Untitled UI. Let me just search for it. I don't want to pick for it so that you guys will see how the result shows. You can see on Untitled UI, we have this one that has the Untitled kit. This kit has the paid version. The paid version has huge load of other things there, but the free version has, you can still work with the free version. It also has an icon. So this is how you search on Figma Community. You just search the terms you're looking for. It will bring, different options for you, and then you go ahead and select what you want. In this instance, is this one I was talking about. So when you click on this now, for example, it tells you, oh, this is even the version 2. Interesting. I think the one I have is version 1. Wow, nice. So that's when they've even upgraded it. So rather than, let me see if there's a way I can share this so that you guys can you can easily duplicate on your end. I don't want to duplicate this one because I already have, there should be a share link for this page now. Let me see. You see, it's categorized under, yeah, okay, see the link. So I'm copying this link. I'll paste it on Slack now. So you guys can open and then you duplicate. To duplicate is very easy. Once you open the link I'm sending to you now, so just click on open in Figma. It will automatically duplicate for you guys. So I'm sending that in Slack right now. So you guys can duplicate this. Now, when you now duplicate it, for you to have access to it everywhere, after checking what is inside the file, you would now publish. Just like it was showing when you click on this, you see where to publish. When you go to you come to your library, when you open the file, assuming this is that file now, when you now come to your assets panel here, and then this library, this book sign, this book icon, you click on it, then you see the publish. So you now publish that particular file. So once you publish it, then you now have access to it. So the file that you're now doing your assignment. So after you've published it, any file that you're doing your assignment or doing your rough work, your personal project, you just come to this same library icon and then you just click on add to file or remove and then automatically you have access to it in any file that you're using. That's how to have access to that. So like I was saying on Figma Community, so now I've finished doing what I want to do with this. I go back to this icon here. I go back here. You can literally search for anything you want to search, anything you can think of. Icons as well. Now, another thing as a designer is when you're designing, you should be consistent with your icon. You should use the same icon pack, and this seems like a single icon library. So let me copy this as well and share with you guys. So on your design where you want to use icons, you also publish this one so that you have access to the icons anywhere you are. So meaning once you publish it, all those icons, all those assets, when you come to components here, you'll be able to have access to them. You see, to just come as the list. And once you search for anything that is, as long as it's inside there, to show up, right? So I'll also share the link for the icon pack so you guys can have access to. There are different icon packs on Figma. There's Vusax as well. Each of those icon packs have different style. So if you are using icon pack for this in your design, you have to use it all through in that particular project. If you decide that, oh, it is Vusax you want to use, and when I say Vusax is another type of icon pack. Let me search for Vusax so that you guys will see what I mean by Vusax. It's one of the best icon packs that I like. So let me say Vusax. So, yeah, so this is Vusax icon pack here. This is it. 18,000 people. So this is Vusax. Let me open it. I also share this. This is another type of icon pack. Vusax already made it so that you can switch to different mode. When you open the file, you get to see all the things you can do with Vusax. Let me copy as well. So if you are using Vusax in your design, everything you are doing in your design should be, all the icons you are using in your design should be Vusax. So with Vusax creates different states. You can easily switch and you can, do a lot of things. It has even labeled it differently. It's really, really, really nice. It's a really, really nice icon pack. So I've shared that. Those are some resources for you guys. So Figma community, sometimes when I'm trying to do something and I'm running out of ideas and I just need a guide on okay how I should go about it, I just come to Figma community, search. If I want to design ATM card and all the content I'm seeing on Dribble and Behance, which is where we start for a design inspiration. I saw some element that I don't know how to do, but I'm looking for how to do it. I just come and search for like now ATM card. If you search for card on Figma community, anything related to card, any kind of card, it's going to search and show you different resources, different, as you can see, Figma community is nice like that. As you can see in this particular image, this person here, they use drop shadow to elevate the entire design because they are presenting a design. And because it's not in a makeup, they want to see you to see that this is a mobile design. You can see how they made it elevated because they are using it for presentation, but not inside the elements of their design. That's why I said that as you open this presentation here, you can see that there's a bit of shadow in this mockup because they are using for presentation. So there are instances where you get to use drop shadows and the likes of it, right? As you grow more as a designer, you get to understand these things, you get to understand this concept. I know I'm just emphasizing on it now as a beginner so that you get used to it from the get-go, right? The next person is Maruf. Maruf, you can go ahead and speak.
Good afternoon. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good afternoon.
Okay, my question is about this Figma education plan. I want to know, after the last stipulated year, say 2026, what will
Yeah.
happen to the account? You know, we would have had a lot of resources saved on the account. Will it be
Yeah.
reverted back to the free plan or the account will be taken down? I would like to know.
So your Figma account will not be deleted, but here's the thing: 2 weeks to when your plan will expire, or a month to when your plan will expire. Figma will start sending you notification to your email, right? And any file that is under education, right, can only be accessed with an education account. So the moment your year expire, there are two options. It's either you now re-enroll as an educator, right? So if you enroll as an educator, right, by that time they believe that you've done
Sorry, I'm not hearing anything. I don't know if it's just me.
Same here too.
Same here.
Okay.
I think it's our network
Something.
because it's rotating.
Network, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It should be network. Who owns this face?
Sorry, Bidon, could you mute your mic? Thanks. Abraham Richman, you are not to pick educator, you are to pick student, I think, because you are using Figma to learn. So you normally pick educator if you were like teaching a class or something like that. The option you're meant to pick is student, not educator.
Hi guys, can you guys hear me now? Sorry about that. My network got cut off.
Yes, we can hear you. Welcome back home.
Yeah, my network works with light, so the moment the light strips off, it gets cut off. So the before I joined back, that deleted, that's messages in the chat. I remember I was talking about the Figma education thing. So once you pass that here, right, you won't have access to any file you've created there. You will have access to it, but you cannot edit it. So once Figma starts giving you notification, and you cannot upgrade your level to a educator for one reason or the other, maybe Figma is not allowing you to. All you just need to do is the files that you have under there, just move them and take them to your drafts. Then you have access to continue editing it and all like that. That's just the only thing. As if you know, if you're able to upgrade to an educator from an education means, because since like Figma has made it more difficult for people to use the education feature. So that's just the difference. For me, when it expired, when I wanted to upgrade, I have like 4 different accounts. So those different accounts are of different dates. So by the time there was now one I upgraded to an educator, and that one does not even expire at all. So I have unlimited access to that. So if you're able to join as an educator, fine. If you're not, once it's expired, just move those files to a draft such that it doesn't get locked out or anything like that. So that's just that about that.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. So I guess any other person have questions? Okay, let me check the form. I think somebody dropped the question on the form. OJ that was trying to ask a question the other time, and okay, he said this question is around you mentioned choosing career is for 3 years. Now my question is, what those two information will affect? So here's the thing: the verification process is not that strict. They just need the documents. They don't do any checking just for you to upgrade. If you feel like you don't want to, it's not important. You can leave your Figma account as basic and continue using it as that. Once you just face any issue when trying to upload, don't stress yourself. That education stuff was just an additional information that I guess then along the line, it is not compulsory. You can leave your Figma account the way it is as a free account. You don't even need to upgrade it so that all, all this overthinking burden is not necessary. It's just a plus thing that I got to find out and I decided to, let you guys also know about it. That was just it majorly. It's nothing serious. Okay, so someone said he was able to join as an educator when he couldn't join as a student. So it's as simple as that. You can join as an educator. It's just a matter of having access to those features. That's just basically. And you get to see the difference. You get to enjoy more of it when you're working with team members. When you get personal project that you want to collaborate with another designer. So instead of using Google Meet, let me share my screen. On Figma, there's that call feature where you be on Figma and you'll be making calls, you'll be speaking with each other without any hassle. Let me try and open that. Okay, this is it. Let me share my screen now. So I'll get to show what I mean. It's not entirely compulsory for you to do it, so you shouldn't overthink or stress or make it like, oh, I don't have access to this. So because now this file is not under Figma Education, I can see that core feature is not even here. But if I open a file, let me try and open a file that is under Figma Education, for example. Like this one. Let me see which one can I open. Which one should I open? Okay, I'll open this one. There are some other features inside. Figma is broad. There are a lot of things that over time you start, even till now, as I've been designing for a while, because Figma constantly update. There are some things that is on this Figma that I myself have not even discovered or been able to use or anything. As you can see, because this is a paid account, you can see the start conversation. If I share this file with somebody else that has a Figma educator, the two of us can easily communicate as we are designing together on this file easily without needing Google Meet, and it takes low network. So the whole "can you see my screen, can you hear me" will not happen because you are both looking at the same thing. Your cursor will be following each other back to back. If you look at this one now, you see that this one, because it's on a free account, you see that call button is missing. That's another feature that distinguish a file that is inside the paid account and a file that, and the Figma account works based on theme. If the file you open is in your drafts, it won't have access to those things. It's only when the file that you're opening is under a theme that is look at this one now, it's logged. It's majorly logged because this particular account here, look at it, it said Zuri Education Plan has expired. So this particular project, when we created it, the education plan has now expired. So the person that created it with this account can expire for that person. So only is either you move or duplicate the file to another location to save your work. that is the only option left. But the person will not be able to edit or do any other thing. Those are just the major differences, some of those things. And some of those differences, like this local variable now, is another big part of Figma that they launched last year. Is much more advanced. So I don't want to go into that now because you guys are still learning the basics first. So with this, you have option of being able to automatically transform the way I've designed to light mode. All I need to do create a lot of variables that will make things easy. All my styles will be in variable mode, such that when I come to switch, there'll be a toggle. I can just toggle from light to dark to Japanese language to anything I want to switch to. It gives me that option. On Figma free account, you can only create one variable class. You cannot create multiple variable class. That's just like some of those features that they, that Figma attached to it. But generally, you can still do everything you do normally with your Figma account. You can still do it there. Let me check for a question. Who else? Who's the next person that their hand is raised? Let me check. The next person can unmute to speak. That's wisdom.
Okay, good afternoon. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
All right, thank you very much for the class so far. So my question is about these drop shadows. From what you explained, it will stand to mean that we can only use drop shadows when designing for the web, like for a desktop or a laptop, because you mentioned the hover effects. And when we want to hover over a card or a button, then drop shadow effects will not come in, as in lifting the item up. So does that mean that when designing for mobile, there is no way that we can use drop shadow? Like, how can we drop shadow when you're designing for a mobile screen? Because on mobile, there is no need to hover, you just tap and move. I don't know if you get my question.
So on mobile, right, as long as you've not learned how to mix drop shadow well, like I said, just avoid shadows generally. The only part where please, who is Rick? You're actually drawing a lot of things on the screen. Can you stop using the explanation? Thank you very much. Thank you. On mobile, there are instances where you use drop shadow. For example, when you want to show a drop down, and when I say a drop down, like, maybe in a sign up screen, there's a place where I have to put my state, and then I click on a drop down, there's what they call a drop down icon. So it's open a menu to show that I'm trying to select something in that menu. Maybe in that menu there's Kaduna, there's Lagos, there's Abuja. I'm selecting one of those states. So in that instance, let me show instances where you get to use drop shadows on. So now this is a drop down. Let me add an icon here to show. Let me just search arrow. So you can see how my menus are coming out. Drop down. Not coming out. Wait, I'm not showing the from arrow. Oh, I remember the name, the arrow you can click to share. Yeah. So this is a drop down icon. Okay, so let me take it out and put it where I want it to be. So I want it to be inside this. So let me position it very well. So yeah, this is a drop down, meaning the essence of a drop down, meaning I can click on this to open a list. So let's say this is states, for example. These are a list of states. Right? And states, we have 36 states. So there must be a menu that opens up for me, right? So putting the color, let me have a tiny and look at your what you are doing in the background is affecting the call. So now I'm giving it a stroke, right? But because I want it to be a menu, it needs to come. It needs to come. Is not on, right. So this is the point where I use a drop down for this. Now I'm not just going to use any out drop down, right? I will use a drop down that will have better effect. So first I'm changing this to 40, 40, 40, and I'm changing like 10%, and I change this to 1, 7,
Oh.
I'm sorry for that. Um, sorry, my network went up again. I'm back now. I think I was speaking to Wisdom, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I was talking about instances where you get to use a drop shadow, and okay, um okay, I'm unable to share my screen at this moment. Let me that change. I think that Okay. Currently I'm unable to share my screen. That would be awesome. But the instances I was trying to explain, like when you're trying to design the parts where the user needs to click on a drop-down menu, meaning they click on an item, like as I was showing you the other time, that you want to select the state. So when the drop-down menu opens, there will be a little bit of drop shadow on that menu to show that yes, that menu is elevated. So when you're trying to open certain menu that opens over certain things, at those instances you get to use drop shadow. Those are like this type of instances you get to use drop shadow. Like I said, as you go as a designer, you get to do instances where it's appropriate for you to use the drop shadow. And you're not just using it anyhow in your design, making your design work. The reason I started emphasizing on it because you see people use drop shadow on button, on text. When they are writing simple name, they'll put drop shadow in that name. When they are writing email address, they'll put drop shadow in that email address. It's what I've noticed over the years. That is why from the basic class now, I'm emphasizing on it. So meaning when it's not as if you're trying to show emphasis on something, or you're trying to show that okay, there's an action that will happen here, you do not need a drop shadow. That's just basically about drop shadows. For those that drop question in the chat, when I drop up for each time I drop up before the chat rated, so I don't have to access to this messaging. So to those questions. So to be on the safe side, like I said earlier on, I dropped a link in the design channel for you to fill to put your questions. You can put your questions there so that even if like in tomorrow's class, if I don't get to cover it now, I get to cover the question like tomorrow's class and like that. So that's that from Islam. Moving on to the next person. Let me see. I think the next person is sorry, Oluwatosin Aduroja. Please could you transfer posts back to me? It's currently showing that you're good. So to transfer host, you over are your name, and then you see a menu that shows that transfer host to someone. So you transfer host to me. Is Oluwatosin on the call? Oluwatosin Aduroja. I can see you here.
Yes, I'm on the call, but I can't see the option to transfer
Okay.
the.
So you go to participants. Go to where you have participants.
Okay.
Click on the participant, then you would see on yourself that are the host. So when you hover on yourself, you see three icon dots. When you click on that three icon dots, then you see option about transferring hosts. Have you seen that?
I'm
Or
clicking on
making
that
someone,
three, but it's not transferring the host.
what did you see there?
It's bringing raise and remain, and then
Huh?
ask all.
Okay.
I can see ask all and clear all feedback.
Can you search for my name? Can you see me? As I'm speaking, you should
Yes. Okay.
now, over on my name. Can you see the dot on my name?
Yeah, I've done it now.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much. So I think I should be able to, yeah, I can now share my screen. Okay. So as I was saying, as you can see now, on this particular one, I think I was still mixing my okay, let me make my blog, let's see. And yeah, I think it's let me give like 5%. So you can see that there's an item there now. It's showing that yes, there's something that is there, and it's making it obvious that when I click on this item, so this is you in your design trying to show that once you click on this drop down, you get to see the different states you can select, and then you get to click on it. So on mobile, there's nothing like over state on mobile because you can't over on mobile, but on web you can over, right? So drop down so where when you click on anything that has this icon, meaning there's a menu hidden on it, you have to click on it to open, this tray. So in instances like this on mobile are when you get to use a drop shadows to show, once it drops, it shows that it's on top of something. So this is basically showing that this drop down menu is on top of something, there's something under it. And see, by the time I take it out from the design now, that stuff that is on top of this menu here. So these are instances where you get to use drop shadows. As you can see, you see how I mix the shadows meticulously, seeing how it's affecting in the design before I now settle for which aspect to use. So I can decide to put how the spread level and all like that, basically. Who's the next person on I think we have Marciat. Marciat, you can guide them.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Falajama. My question is, you said we can use what's it called, frame to create a circle instead of using the normal circle shape, whereby you created a frame. I guess you created a frame, change the corner radius to 100 or something. Not really sure. I did the same thing, but it's not giving that circle shape vibe. It's giving something like, let me say, a rounded, robust shape of the thing. I don't know. I don't know if
maybe so to be on the safe side, I understand that the reason why I gave me circled perfectly was because I selected what's good. I made my width and height 100. So to be on the safe side, so that you always get a perfect circle. You can even put the radius corner to 10,000. So when I put it 10,000, no matter to what extent, any extent I increase this to, let me say I increase it to 400 by 400, so that I still have my circle. So sometimes I use 10,000, sometimes I use 1,000 when I know that I want to constantly maintain my circle. So and I know I cannot use circle that is up to 400. The highest circle I want to use is probably 100 or 10. So this is 10. When I zoom in, see my circle is still there. And it will remain a circle constant. So instead of using 100 in radius corner, you can use like a 1,000 or you can use like a 10,000. That way you know that you always have a radius corner. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Who else again? Let me check. Okay, another thing I remember I did not talk about was FigJam. And that was majorly because I was still trying to focus more on getting you guys familiarized with Figma and all like that. So when it comes to FigJam, let me create a FigJam and open a FigJam one. So basically, what FigJam is meant for is for when you're doing idea creation, brainstorming, somewhere you want to take in notes, want to draw user flow. FigJam sometimes comes with some of those templates. As you can see, as I open this FigJam board, it's already showing me brainstorm template I can select from. You can see this is a walkthrough, but I don't want to walk through anything. I can easily just select generate this. Okay, it has an AI as well, and all like that. So it has an AI. I can give it an instruction to generate something for me. So when you get to points where you're using user flow and all like that, you can use FigJam to generate your user flow. If you want to create sticky notes where you just want to read some things, there are templates for sticky notes that you could majorly use. That's basically what we use FigJam for. Especially when you're at that point in the project where, as you can see, I just click on the template and it's bringing different templates for different things. You can see you can write different with categorize a lot of things. You can use it for meeting notes, for what's the word? And you can even create your own things from scratch. If you can see these are FigJam menus. You can create your things from scratch if you want to use what's existing template. You can see a sticky note. I can decide to add my own sticky notes and start typing stuff inside my sticky notes. And start typing stuff inside my sticky notes, right? Depending on what I want to use, as much as I want it, and all of those things. So FigJam is where you get to do all of those rough work, idea creation, where I worked on the project, you need to highlight something, and you don't want to do all those things, so you can still do them on Figma. But FigJam, because FigJam already has all these different templates, like when you're drawing user flow now, for example, and you want to do all this arrow stuff to show direction, and then I want to draw the circle, like, can use it for literally anything. For brainstorming, idea generation, and you can also use it with your team members. It's just like Figma, you have to name it. Then if it's something that you want to time yourself and listen to music, they have all those little features as well. Reason I'm not gone deep into it. See, you can use it for meeting, for drawing diagram, for plate stuff, and the likes of. Reason I did not go into it because you need to get familiarized with this main stuff before diving into FigJam. As you learn about user research, you get to be able to use FigJam for all of those things and then like that. Going back to menu, we have Obueye Blessing. You can go ahead and speak, Blessing.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. So I have a question to ask. In the icon, the tools on the Figma, we have the components, the plugins. Like me now, I've been using. Ma, can you hear me? My set.
I an earphone or
the
something
tools,
like that.
the tools on Figma.
Yes.
Yes, we have components and the plugins. The components is like to get the icons, buy the plugin to get pictures and the likes.
Yes.
Like me now, is it preferable to like use those tools to get? Will it be easier to get our icon and pictures, or instead of it going to like an icon resource where I just download, just like now projects where I used to download my, if I want to download an icon to use on my Figma page, I have to go on the now project to download my icon. Which one is preferable? Just picking our components, our icon straight from the plugin, and our icon straight from the component, then our plugin, our pictures straight from the plugin.
Okay, so regarding the icons, right? Like I said, I've sent you an icon pack. So if you want to use an external website to go and get icon from that website, meaning under your design, all the icons you'll be using will be from that website and you go and be downloading. That's additional stress. But if you're using an icon pack, like the links I have shared on Slack, when you duplicate those files, after duplicating it, ensure that you publish it. That way, and once you publish it, just like I've shown earlier on, you would add it to the file that you want to work on. That way, when you go to the component part, you can easily search for any of the icons that you want to use that's related in that file that you activated. Once that becomes your library, it's very easy to get access from components. You see that I didn't have to go to external source. All I needed to do was just search, and it brought it out for me because I have added the library to this particular Figma file. So it was easy for me to search. Why do I need to go through the stress of going to, for example, w.svg repo to go and search, to go and download icons? I'll download on my system and I'll copy and paste into Figma when I can easily access it here. So Figma has made these things easy for you. And if you are not using any icon pack from Figma Community like I shared, and you want to use an icon plugin, we have different icon plugins. But you need to be careful of the icon plugin that you want to use because it's not all icon packs that are really nice, that are aesthetics pleasing, right? So if you have an icon plugin that you want to use, you can, that means in that your design, all the icons you use is from that plugin. But again, the easiest is once you already have a library and you've activated, you've published that file that you get from Figma Community, you publish it. Once you publish it and you open a new file that you want to design, and you need to add it, you just come here in this library, you add it. Once you've added it, automatically under this resource icon, you'll be able to search for everything. You'll be able to search for anything as long as it's inside that library that you activated. It is only when it's not there that you will not see. You now have to go because it's not all icon pack that are complete. So if the item they are looking for in an icon pack is not there, any icon you are copying to represent what is missing, ensure that it still has similar style such that it will not look different, it will not look weird from the icons we have been using. The essence of sticking to one icon pack is to maintain consistency in your design. Do you understand?
Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, you're welcome.
Yes, ma'am.
What is my mama? All of you are using. Please, thank you, that's fine. What do my mama is on the surgery? Okay, let me go to the chat. Is there anything in the chat? Okay, there's nothing on the chat so far. And there's only one question on the question form. And this is almost 2 o'clock. Okay, does anybody have any other question? Meaning, I'm saying regarding that, paying for all these people down this call. So far, you guys are good to go. You understand the assignment. You understand what you're supposed to do. Remember in the assignment, yeah, in the assignment, I don't know if they dropped the second assignment for you guys, maybe it's just one, but you end up doing 2 assignments. One where you have to design login and sign up screen. You see the instruction. I have to check. I'm not sure if questions have been dropped for you guys. So yes. There'll be another class tomorrow for those that missed today's room. I think tomorrow class will be just 1 hour. Community, just go to Figma Community. You don't need a particular community. If you have been following before, I'm sure you saw the way I searched on Figma Community. And I have shared icon packs in, I've made the work less stressful for you. I said icon pack on Slack. So check Slack, the links I dropped on Slack. You can just go ahead and duplicate them. And I believe I showed them here on Figma Community. You can just search for it. If I search icons now, the only thing is that any icon you are using, Sam, you have a question, you can use your mic and speak. Oh, you want me to tell you the answer to the assignment? If you watch that video, you get the answer. I'm not going to tell you the answer. I will carry the assignment question and bring it the answer to tell you the answer. And you will put all the options there. I don't see you. Go and watch the video to find the answer. Some of the questions I put there was just to show whether you guys really paid attention while you were watching the video. It just breathe straight. So some of those answers to some questions, it's when you watch that video that you find the answer. So I'm not telling you anything. Go and watch the video. You want to do 4 lifestyle? No. I am not telling you, Sam, go and watch the video to understand. That was not the question. When you watch my video, you understand the question. When you watch video again, you understand. That's the thing. Paying attention as a designer is also a skill you need to get, right? So if you paid attention to details in that video, then you know the answer to that question. Yeah, thank you very much. Right? Let me see who else raised their hand. Okay, I think that's no question from anybody. We can call it a day. I believe. So, so far, I just want to find out, is it only the OBJ assignment you guys have for now? That's the only assignment that is being. I think YouTube gives option for caption. So you can follow caption. I don't know whether YouTube can I don't know whether you to transcribe. Maruf, you raise up your hand.
Yes, please, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, how soon can we get the recorded version of this video on LMS?
That's based on Xylos that is handling that. That's Xylos, that's Shay. Shay would upload and notify you guys because the video will be edited for all the network rates and then uploaded. You guys will definitely see it. So, and besides, there should be another class for an hour for those that missed and all like that. So, by tomorrow, you guys should have gotten the second assignment. So far, it's only one assignment.
Yeah, just one assignment.
Yeah, you get your second assignment soon. Probably tomorrow, it will be great tomorrow or later today. But I think they are not giving you room to submit your first assignment so that the two of them will not club together. That's why probably by Wednesday you get your second assignment and then you have to do, get hands-on with it and with that.
Okay.
I think that's all the questions. I'm checking here. I'm not seeing any other question anymore. All the questions that was asked before my call was, I couldn't get access to them again. So yeah, I think without any further ado, since no one has any other question, okay, seeing your message, so let me check. On Good Friday, I've talked to Shea about that. It's virtual class, so it might not follow might not follow the amount of people holiday. It's just a virtual class. It's something you're doing at the comfort of your soul, of your own. Not you are going to a physical class, so you want to be observing public holiday and stuff like that. It all depends. Good Friday, what will happen when you are at home and you just listen? So it's not any lectures will always be included, so that's just it. So there'll be class tomorrow for 1 hour. So even if they decide to observe holiday, I guess till holiday then, but I'm not sure. I don't have control over that. She is the appropriate person to ask. So you can ask that question on Slack to get your response. All right then. That's going to be it from me today. Thank you guys for joining, and I hope you've been able to learn one or two, and I hope as you grow. So now, one thing as a designer is that despite the video I've given you, despite the things I've said on the call, don't rely on that alone. On your own as well, and go to YouTube. YouTube is a really friendly tool. YouTube is what I've used to learn a lot of things, even after training and currently till now. There's something I still need to do that I know that there's a video I need to go and watch on YouTube, right? So despite all what you've learned, even if I'm still confused about something, I go to YouTube, I search for it, I try to, and I try to watch it to understand better. So despite what we tell you, despite what we teach you, despite videos we send to you on your own as a designer, start cultivating the research habits of going on your own and also researching. Because part of your work as a designer over time will be to research, right? So go on your own as well. After seeing all of these things, explore on your own and click on YouTube, search those things that are confused and see how it works. So if you are still now confused on YouTube, you can come on the call during our all this AMA session to further clarify on certain things you're still confused about. So don't rely on all everything they do that we give you. You on your own, go and search and seek for knowledge on YouTube. That would be my final advice to you guys. And thank you all for joining and enjoy the rest of